Hello everyone, we're jumping into solving multi-step equations. Actually, we're solving one-step equations. So let's fix that. So this should be, let's cross it off, one step. Because all we're doing is one step. So here's the example. We can solve with addition or subtraction. And we look at what's happening to the variable. If you look right here, we see D, we see plus 5. All right, what is the opposite operation of plus 5? It's going to be subtract 5. And we have to make sure that we do it on both sides. This is what we call the addition property of equality. Now, you can also say that it's the subtraction property of equality, as long as you're understanding, hey, addition and subtraction are the same thing. But we are using different properties of equality in order to solve these equations. All right, so let's look at this next one right here. We see negative 7 plus e is equal to 21. Once again, I'm going to do the addition property of equality. And so that states if I do it on one side, I have to do it on the other side. So once again, my justification is I'm using the addition property of equality. So negative 7 plus 7 is 0. And 21 plus 7 is going to be 28. So I'm going to rewrite that as e is equal to 28. Now this is just one step, and we can do all this work with just one step. So let's continue. All right, so example 2, solve by multiplication or division. So if the problem is dividing, simply multiply by the number. So I have g divided by 5 is equal to 24. Well, the opposite operation of divide by 5 is times 5. But if I'm going to times 5, I have to make sure I do it on both sides, because this is the multiplication property of equality, which states if you multiply, you have to multiply the same thing on both sides to everything. So let's go into that. 5 divided by 5 would cancel out, and I would get g is equal to 5 times 4 is 20, 5 times 20 is 100, so 120. Now over here I have w divided by 4. So to get rid of that, I'm going to times 4 on both sides using the multiplication property. That was a bad multiplication. Property of equality. Now this is taking me longer to write than to actually solve it. That would cancel out and I would get w is equal to 48. The end. Let's go on. Alright. Now if the problem is multiplying, either divide or multiply by the reciprocal. So, the opposite of times 4, 4x equals 13, is to divide by 4. And so this would definitely be the division property of equality. So dividing by 4, and so I get x is equal to 13 over 4. Done. Leave it like that. Don't do anything else. Leave it. Let's go on to the next one though. All right, to get rid of this, instead of dividing and then multiplying, I'm going to times by 4 over 3. So this is using the reciprocal. I'm doing multiplication. So I'm doing the multiplication property of equality. Now, unlike chapter 1, these are going to be these are a little more like multiplication property of equality, like addition property of equality. It's a little more straightforward. So looking at this, 4 divided by 4, they could cancel out. 3 divided by 3 would cancel out. And I'll be left with x on this side. Now 45 divided by 3, make it a fraction. 45 divided by 3 is 15. And then I would add 15 times 4. Well, 15 times 2 is 30. Times 2 again would be 60. So x is equal to 60. Now I could have divided by 3/4 on both sides as well, but I would get the same result anyways. Alright, now looking at that, that's it. So that's under 5 minutes, so we're good. Thank you for staying with us to solve one-step equations. Bye everybody, see you in class.